on the corner of 25 West Main Street in downtown Vermilion. The Spot, Winnie Mays, is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The Spot, Winnie Mays, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
Coming up on Coyote News, a look into Vermilion's downtown business life.
Plus, USD has a new partnership with another college. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Good evening, I'm Sierra Prue.
And I'm Rachel Peckosh. We'll have those stories and more, but first, the governor of Texas is defending a new state law banning most abortions. The Texas law does not provide exceptions for rape or incest. Yesterday, Greg Abbott told reporters that Texas plans to eliminate all rapists on the streets. South Dakota abortions-related restrictions are also changing. Yesterday, Governor Kristi Noem signed an executive order that further restricts access to abortion medication. Last year, about 39% of abortions in South Dakota were done through medication. Noem says the order also makes it clear that the medicine-induced abortions fall within state laws requiring an in-person consultation with the physician.
Last month, the population of Vermilion grew by 10% in one day. Vermilion's a small college town, and the incoming students can drastically affect the census. Cherry Street experienced more traffic than usual as students flooded back into the community in late August. Incoming freshmen are a large part in the population boost, living primarily in North Complex and Coyote Village. On campus as well as off-campus USD students are counted in the census for Vermilion. Regardless of where the students are from, they're counted because they live here for the majority of the year. Over the course of the weekend, roughly 1,500 to 2,000 students settled into Vermilion. With a population of only 10 to 11,000, 1,500 more people around Vermilion is sure to affect the community.
Students have returned to USD for this fall semester. Downtown Vermilion is busier than ever. Multiple downtown businesses are experiencing labor shortages. Select restaurants such as Cafe Brûlée and Dakota Brick House have limited their hours of operation. Leo's Sports Bar and Grill is also working through employee shortages despite the recent surge of students.
Yeah, it has been a lot busier with school starting again and a lot of the students coming back. We have a lot of workers that are willing to work and they work hard, so we've been getting them a lot of hours.
Among the downtown establishments looking for workers is Silk Road Cafe. If working in a bar or restaurant isn't what you're looking for, there are other opportunities for work downtown.
Saturday will be the 20th anniversary of 9/11. To understand what life on campus was like on that day, Coyote News' Michael Stake is live in the muck to give us an inside look. Michael?
Thanks, Sierra. I'm here live in the muck with Provost of Academic Affairs, Kirk Hackmer. So this week is the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attack. Where were you when you heard the news, and what was your initial reaction?
Well, I was actually teaching a class, a European military history class, and we came out of class that Tuesday morning, and the secretary said, there's been this accident. And then we started listening to the radio because there wasn't much streaming news or anything back then, and it became pretty clear that it wasn't an accident, that something else was happening. And I knew that the political science department had a cable subscription to CNN. So I hustled over, I was in East Hall, hustled over to Dakota Hall to see what I could learn from watching CNN, and got there in time to watch the second plane hit the second tower. And at that point, right, then that's all that there was, right? You saw that over and over and over again. Started processing it, obviously the way that one does. What I found really interesting, so everybody was watching this footage, right, being repeated, was coming into class the next Thursday, so that'd be the 13th. And on Tuesday, I'd been talking about Greco-Roman warfare, and on Thursday, we were talking about medieval warfare, and I thought, surely the class is gonna wanna talk about what's happened with the towers. I'm a military historian, so I've been talking a lot with news outlets about the military response. And what I found fascinating on the 13th was that they did not want to talk about it. In fact, the class asked me, can we just talk about medieval warfare, because we're kind of overwhelmed by everything that we're seeing, and we want to get out of the 21st century, basically. So can we go talk about something else, was the interesting response.
And do you think USD is better equipped now for an event like that?
Oh, absolutely, I do. I mean, we didn't have anywhere near the counseling services that we have now. We didn't know really how to deal as well with student crisis situations. There was no centralized coordinated marketing response in the way that we have right now. It was back in 2001, it was a lot of individuals dealing with individual situations. And now we have a much better care network in place.
Thank you for coming. Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Michael Stake.
Thanks, Michael. On Saturday morning, the South Dakota Army National Guard and the 730th Medical Company are hosting a memorial 5K color run and walk. The event starts at 8 in the Barstow Park.
Still to come on Coyote News, the Downtown Project Streetscape continues. Stay with us.
The Media and Journalism Department has opened my eyes to a world of new careers and occupations that I never knew were possible.
I'm an M&J major because I wanted to be a part of something that is important, and whether we realize it or not, media and journalism is around us every single day.
The Media and Journalism Department has allowed me to gain pretty hands-on experience and jump right into student media activities.
This is Coyote News.
Construction continues on the downtown Vermilion Streetscape design project. As Coyote News' Dre Hill reports, not everyone is happy with the project.
Those who have gone downtown can see the effort the city is putting together to make it a more beautiful and safe place for residents and visitors alike. The rise in construction for the project has brought complaints from some of the locals in town how it might be affecting local businesses.
I believe the problem with the construction downtown is the fact that we lose so many parking spots. 17 parking spots downtown are lost, and we lose 7 of them. But it's so important for us to be able to have people park in front of the church for church and also for funerals.
The construction downtown is part of what we call the Streetscape project, which is to improve both the look of downtown Vermilion and also address some safety and maintenance issues that we have. The project should be complete before the snow falls this year. We know that there are some people that are concerned about the change in parking. We've definitely tried to explain to all the property owners that the change in parking is not part of the Streetscape project. The change in parking is a requirement of federal law.
Before the project, downtown didn't meet the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices standards. MUTCD guidelines state no parking should be within an intersection or within 20 feet of a crosswalk. Reporting from Coyote News, I'm Dre Hill.
The project's set to be finished before winter weather sets in.
Returning students noticed changes in the ID Weeks library. Over the summer, a large number of chairs and tables were replaced with private study nooks. Composed of a chair, writing table, and a screen, these nooks offer students increased privacy and an effective block from distractions. The nooks were first implemented in the Wegner Health Sciences Library at the Sanford School of Medicine in Sioux Falls, and they've proved popular with the students. If they're as well liked in Vermilion, library staff plan to add a few more around the building. The nooks are on a first-come, first-served basis and don't need to be reserved in advance.
USD's entered into a new partnership with Sisseton-Wahpeton College on South Dakota's Lake Traverse Reservation. Coyote News' Marissa Bronkhorst shares the details.
This past month, USD and the Sisseton-Wahpeton College, located in Sisseton, South Dakota, signed a new agreement that increases education opportunities for South Dakotans. Students at Sisseton-Wahpeton studying addiction and diversity can additionally apply their credits for a bachelor's degree in addiction counseling and prevention at USD. Sisseton-Wahpeton students that have a general education degree can also transfer their credits to any undergrad program at the university. Associate Provost Beth Freeberg says she sees the partnership growing into other majors.
The exciting thing is in October, we will have more programs that will actually communicate with Sisseton-Wahpeton to see if there's the need in the Sisseton community for more articulation agreements. So like our sustainability major will be explored, and our Native American Studies program will be explored, as well as our general studies programs.
Reporting for Coyote News, I'm Marissa Brunkhorst.
Thanks, Marissa. As of now, one student has taken advantage of this opportunity.
The first home football game is Saturday. As students gear up, they can expect to see some new tailgating changes this year. After a year without tailgating due to COVID-19, it's back to kick off Coyote home game days. A new parking lot is in place where tailgating used to gather next to Coyote Village. This year, it's located in the north side of the Dakota Dome and east of the football practice field. Along with this new location, students will be able to treat themselves to food trucks that will change each game. Students can also catch a ride to the Dome from all over campus on the crazy carts driven by the Coyote Crazies. Since tailgates will take place outside, there are currently no COVID restrictions, but students are encouraged to stay home or go home if they don't feel well. The Coyotes play Northern Arizona. The game kicks off at 1, and the theme is USA in memory of those who lost their lives on 9/11. The return of home games means that students will need tickets to the events.
That's right, Rachel. When we return, we'll speak with Jaron Duffy of Coyote Athletics to find out how to get them.
Climbing's awesome because it's challenging, both mentally and physically.
You gotta love climbing because even when you're not climbing, you get a great view.
Climbing's great because I feel like Spider-Man.
Climbing is great, because even my nerd friends can do it.
Climbing's awesome because there's always someone who has your back.
Come to the rock wall and figure out why climbing's awesome for you.
There is so much more to media and journalism than just those two words.
It's really shown me things that I never thought I was capable of doing, and I'm actually not too bad at it.
Even though you think you may want to do one thing, this major exposes you to everything.
The media and journalism department has helped me turn my dream into a reality by putting me in the position to succeed.
This is Coyote News.
This is Coyote Sports. I'm Kyle Ireland.
And I'm Sydney Funderman. In a moment, we'll go live in the muck for an update on how to get tickets for this weekend's game.
The Coyote football team's preparing for Saturday's home game against Northern Arizona. The Yotes are coming off last weekend's close loss to Kansas. USD's defense kept the game to one possession at halftime, but a Kansas touchdown in the final minutes handed South Dakota a 17-14 loss. Redshirt freshman Travis Tice ran for 96 yards and a touchdown, as well as catching a pass for 21 yards against his home state Jayhawks. Team captain Jack Cochran led the Coyote defense with 13 tackles. The Yotes will be back inside the Dakota Dome, taking on the Lumberjacks from Northern Arizona this Saturday at 1. Tickets will be a little bit different this year. Coyote News' Philip Larson is live in the muck to learn more. Phil?
Thanks, Kyle. I'm here live in the muck with Jaron Duffy, Director of Athletic Marketing and Promotions here at USD. Jaron, thanks for being here. Yeah, thanks for having me. So we have a lot of home games coming up and no more Ticket Tuesdays. How exactly can students get their hands on tickets?
Sure, it'll be a pretty simple process. In years past, we had the dome was at half capacity, so the student section was a little smaller. So we'd do Ticket Tuesday to make sure everyone got into the game and knew they had a ticket. This year we have plenty of room in our student sections, whether it's soccer, in volleyball in the Sanford Coyote Sports Center, or football in the Dakota Dome. There's plenty of seats. All you need to do is bring your student ID, swipe it in on your way in, and you'll get right in. So there's no need to grab a ticket beforehand. Bring your ID and you'll get right in.
Gotcha. And what was the reasoning behind this new process of ticket rollouts?
Sure. So the reasoning for this is we got a lot of confusion on Ticket Tuesdays. A lot of the time we would give out plenty of tickets in the muck, but we'd have some left over, and we got feedback from a lot of students that they felt if they didn't get a ticket on Ticket Tuesday, they couldn't get into the game, which often was not the case. They could still just swipe in at the game. And now that we have a bigger student section than we've ever had, we're confident we can get everyone in. And we don't want anyone to feel like that if they didn't make it to Ticket Tuesday, if they had a class or something happened and they couldn't make it, they can still get into the game. So just eliminating Ticket Tuesday, we just want to make the process a little more smooth, avoid any confusion or rumors that the game sold out. The message now is just simply bring your ID on game day and you'll get right in.
Gotcha. And so that's all for student turnout. Are you guys expecting a decent turnout?
Yeah, I think it'll be an awesome crowd. It'll be our first game with the east and west side finish, so it should be an awesome atmosphere. There's going to be quite a few people there, so we're really excited for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, Jaron.
Yeah, thank you.
Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Philip Larson.
Thanks, Phil. The football's game opener is this Saturday.
The volleyball team played in the Cardinal Classic in Louisville this past weekend, but failed to record a win, falling 3-1 against Northern Kentucky, 3-0 against number 12 Louisville, and 3-1 against familiar foe Missouri. The Coyotes looked their tournament best against Missouri, fueled by wanting revenge on the team who eliminated them from the NCAA tournament back in April. USD rallied back in the second set, scoring 5 straight points, just to fall short by the score of 25-23. In the third set, the Coyotes scored 7 unanswered points to win their only set against the Tigers by the score of 26-24. The volleyball team is hosting the South Dakota Classic tomorrow through Saturday, hoping to score their first win of the season. They'll be taking on Bradley tomorrow at 6 and will be facing Central Arkansas and Milwaukee on Friday, wrapping up their portion of the tournament.
The Coyote soccer team has kicked off their season with 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 ties. USD defeated Northern Iowa 1-0 on Sunday, in big thanks to an Alexis Mitchell goal scored in the 65th minute. The Coyotes have recorded 4 shutouts, only allowing 2 goals all year, both to Wyoming. The team will be back in action at the First Bank and Trust Soccer Complex, taking on the Drake Bulldogs tomorrow at 6.
The USD cross-country team ran in the Augustana Twilight in Sioux Falls last Friday. The men's team finished 4th, led by redshirt junior Murga Gameda, who came across the line 2nd. The women's team took home their 5th straight Augustana Twilight victory, fueled by a 2-3 finish by redshirt junior duo of Abby Ripperda and Maddie Lavin. The cross-country team will be back in action on September 18th in Lincoln, Nebraska for the Woody Greeno Invitational, where the women took home 3rd back in 2019.
The USD esports team held tryouts for their select games they'll be competing in this upcoming league. Coyote News' Rachel Thompson shares all the opportunities available in the esports arena.
The USC Esports Club held tryouts for the games they plan to compete in this year, the most popular being Rainbow Six Siege, League of Legends, and Fortnite. This year, esports plans to compete in the National Association of Collegiate Esports League, where they could win more scholarship money.
We do have like 10 players that are on scholarship through the university, and then each game has its own scholarship prize pool of in the realms of anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000.
Last year, the USD esports team won $15,000 in the Level Next Champions competition over Twitter. It is unclear whether this competition will continue this year, but the USD esports team plans to join if it does happen again.
One of the biggest things that our esports club is trying to spread awareness about is that we're looking to bring more players on to play casually, not just competitively. So we have a nice space here in the lab that's open to the whole community, and we're looking to get more people involved. They don't have to be on a team to be in the space.
Reporting for Coyote News, I'm...
For more updates on the esports upcoming league, check out their Twitter at SD Coyote Esports.
That's all for your Coyote Sports.
Coming up on Coyote News, students told us where they like to eat
The
the most.
USC Youth Sports
This is Coyote News.
Vermilion has a variety of places to eat.
In this week's Out and About, we asked students where their favorite place to eat is in Vermilion.
Here's what they had to say.
It's Cafe Brulee, specifically on Sundays because they have waffles, and their waffles are really good.
Probably Domino's, just because I like pizza a lot. It's like a blessing that we don't have Little Caesars because I would be broke.
Oh, I like to eat at the Bunyan's place.
Silk Road Cafe for sure. I think their food is super great. You get a ton, like a lot of bang for your buck. It's super cheap. You get a ton of food. I can eat it for like 3 days straight if I order it just once.
I like Jimmy John's because I like bread.
Honestly, I'd have to say Chick-fil-A because it's pretty much the only place that I've had so far. Might change though as my tenure at USD goes along.
I'd probably have to say Brick House or Cafe Brulee. But maybe Brick House. Brick House has amazing gluten-free options. That is one thing I look for on campus. And they have some of the best options for bread there, I think.
Probably the Qdoba here, just because I really love the nachos.
I like to go to Taco John's because I like tacos.
Chick-fil-A because of the chicken nuggets.
I would have to say Qdoba because they have the best cookies.
Normally I'd have to agree with you, but I just discovered Chick-fil-A sauce, and that has been a game changer. A 5,000-pound rhinoceros escaped from its enclosure yesterday afternoon at the Omaha Henry Doorly Zoo. It's believed that John 2 used its nose to push open the latch of a door that wasn't locked properly. Visitors were asked to immediately find shelter until the situation was resolved. John 2 roamed around the zoo for about 40 minutes until workers used leafy greens and apples to lure him back into his barn. The zoo's animal manager says that workers will critique the emergency and decide if John 2's doors will require new locks.
Be sure to pick up this week's issue of the Volant that gives details on how an anatomy class can benefit from a USD student's research.
That's all for Coyote News. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
And watch and listen for Coyote News' daily updates throughout the week on KAOR and the Coyote News social media pages.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.